If you could have one thing that would guarantee your success for the rest of your life, what would that be? In my case, and in the case of 51 clients that I've consulted all over the world, UK, Australia, South Africa, US, Europe, it was changing our identities, because changing our identities dictates the results that we get. And in this series, this is what we do. Welcome to the 20K Mindset Series, a series dedicated for coaches and consultants who want to break their limits and scale past 5 figures to 6 figures and even maybe 7 figures. And to scale past and to break your physical limits, you want to break your mental limits first. And this is what we do over here. So today in this episode, I have some notes in front of me. We're going to be talking about specifically how to break your old self to create space for a new self. And I'm going to give you, by the end of this video, I don't know the date, but I think it's approximately 3,000-year-old practice that's been passed down in ancient societies and that's been passed down right now in secret societies to help you do that effectively. And here's what. See, you might not know this about me if you're a new subscriber. If you're an old, you know it about me a little bit. I was on the verge of becoming an alcoholic. I come from a third world country. I lived, studied, and been around some of the poorest neighborhoods in my life. And by all means, I shouldn't be here. My life looked like going... My Fridays looked like going to my friend's house when his mother was at work after school. So we're literally talking like 2 p.m., getting a big bottle of vodka, and just me and my friend and maybe a third friend. That's it, like three children drinking an entire bottle of vodka. My childhood looked like always being on the streets, playing around with my friends, fights, etc., whatever. Like, this was my childhood. This was who I was around. And they say that the people that you're around dictate your future. Well, I was around some the kindest hearts in the world, but at the same time, worst circumstances in the world. And I was also obese. I was 120 kilograms. So by all means, with my past and with what I've created in my life, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have the body that I have. I shouldn't have the money that I have. I shouldn't have the life that I have. I work from home. I work from everywhere I want in the world. I traveled with my fiance. I took her on a trip. I can afford pretty much everything that I want to afford because I built my business online. And it all goes down to my ability to change, to change my identity, to change who I am, to change how I think, to change how I believe, to change the state that I am in. It's one of the most powerful things that any entrepreneur can go through. And yet, most of us do it the wrong way, or we don't do it. We jump into the strategies, we jump into the ideas, we jump into whatever it is. We just don't do it. Let me get a sip of coffee. See, I'm going to tell you a very specific story before I go into the insight and then give you the key. When I was young, I wanted to become very rich in my life for multiple reasons. But one of the biggest reasons is I wanted to retire my mother. And one time I was at school and the teachers were going around and asking, like, it was just an interactive day at school. And the teacher was asking the kids, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up and how much money you want to make? And we were, I think it was the final year at school. I think it was the graduation year. So we were pretty mature at that age. And everyone was like, I want to make 1,000, I want to make 2,000, I want to make 1,500. But the highest amount in the room was $2,000. I remember till this day. This kid said, I want to make $2,000. If I make $2,000 and my wife makes 2,000 or 1,000, we'd be set. And keep in mind, I come from a third world country, so 2,000 and his wife making 2,000 per month, that's 4,000 per month. He can live like a king here. But my turn reached, and I was this kid who always sat down back in the room, who always slept at school. So I was the final person in the room. They reached my turn, they asked me, hey Arnold, like, what do you...
For that, you need to connect to a Wi-Fi network first.
Okay. Siri. that was scary. Anyway, they asked me, Arnold, how much money do you want to make? I told them, look, honestly, I don't know, but of course I want to make more than $2,000 per month. And I remember the teacher looking at me and I was like, but Arnold, do you know how much money is making $2,000 per month? I'm like, oh yeah, I know, but I want to make much more, much more. I always had this dream in my mind. I always had this dream of becoming rich, of building high net worth. And as I moved on in my life and I started building the business and I started trying to get clients online and started to create kind of this wealth online, what I realized is that it wasn't as easy as I expected it to be. It wasn't as easy as have the right habits, wake up in the morning. It wasn't as easy as that, because one thing that kept creeping up on me was doubt, confidence issues, imposter syndrome. Who are you to be like that? Who are you to do that? Who are you to say that? Who are you to speak on camera? Things that started to creep up on me are like, the first time I saw a supercar in front of me, I was scared. It was a Lamborghini Aventador. I was scared to touch it. I was scared to touch the money. My money blocks started creeping up on me over the years. So how can I build a multiple six-figure business and have money blocks, confidence issues, self-doubt, imposter syndrome? I can't. I can't. Even though I had the dream, even though I had the desire, I can't. And this is the problem with most people. They have the dream, they have the desire, they have the push. Maybe they're making money. Maybe you are making money right now. And most probably, if you're watching me, you're making money, because my audience usually is people who have some traction. You're making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 per month. Maybe you're making $10,000 per month, but you want to get to 20. You want to get to 30. You want to grow from there. Okay? You're making this money and you're doing the strategies and you're doing the work and you're creating in real life, but the rewards aren't equal to the work that you're putting out. Well, my friend, 96% of the times, it's always identity issues. Because what you think and what you believe is what gets created in your life. So anyway, I digress. We go back to this principle, to this story that I was telling you. So I realized that my old, I'm gonna call them shit. My old shit was popping up, was coming up again and again. Whenever I was on a sales call, it came up. Whenever I was doing a new strategy, it came up. Whenever I was implementing something new, it came up. The stuff constantly came up. And then I was watching a video by a Navy SEAL commander. This Navy SEAL commander had his kind of troop, if you want to look at them, his troop. It's a troop. They call it troop. So basically, he commands his team. Okay, his team had the lowest rates of PTSD. They had the lowest rate of PTSDs. So why? Like, why? What is different between this troop that can go out of war, nothing happened, everything is good, they turned on the switch and now I'm a civilian, I'm good, I'm relaxed, everything is flowing, versus other troops in the Navy SEALs where a lot of PTSD, a lot of, sadly, a lot of people commit suicide, a lot of people go through a lot of problems to deal with this PTSD. So what is the difference between this guy and others? This guy's troops, they do one thing differently. Whenever they go into a war zone and they finish the war zone and everything is clear, this commander takes his troops to their victims, okay? And he shows them their victims. He shows them what they have done, and he gets them to become, well, what is the best way to say it? He gets them to get real with what happened here, to become consolidated with what happened, to accept what happened, that this is a war, this is what happened, this is what you've done, and it's fine. Face it. Don't run away from it. Face it. Look at it. Heads on. And after that, what they do is they go back, they write everything on a sheet of paper in a ceremonial setting, and each Navy SEAL, each man takes this paper, throws it into the fire, and accepts that this is what I've done, but I choose to burn it. And this is where it all clicked for me. This is where it all clicked for me. It isn't about what's popping up constantly in your mind and what you've done in the past and the memories and the ideas. And the problem is that you haven't really faced those. You haven't sat down with those and became one. You haven't accepted this reality. You're still trying to look at this reality that happened, the things in the past, maybe the one time that you mismanaged money so badly that you got shouted at, and maybe the one time that you got such a bad client that you were like, I hate working with this person. Maybe the one time that you lied to someone to get their money. I don't know what you've been through. You know what you've been through. But the problem is if that stuff keeps on coming up again and again and again, one of the greatest reasons is that you have not faced it. And facing it is scary. Imagine a Navy SEAL who just went through an entire war, grueling war, now sitting down and facing what he has done. Grueling experience. But once you face it, you accept it. Once you accept it, you don't bury it. Most people's traumas, most people's problems, most people's deepest blocks, whether financial blocks, physical blocks, literally physical. Some people can't seem to lose weight. Some people can't seem to make more money than a certain amount of money. Most people's blocks stem or originate from an event that happened that we have buried in our mind. We've pushed it so deeply because I don't want to face it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to deal with that. And that's exactly the problem. That's exactly the problem. The I don't want to deal with that is exactly the problem. You bury it, you push it, and it keeps on knocking on the door. Keeps on creeping up every now and then. So, if you want to have all of the success that you want to get in your life, well, my friend, one of the easiest ways to do it is to change your identity and create a success identity. And the first path to changing your identity is facing the old and burning it. Not burying it, burning it. Allow it to go. Accept it that it's not a part of you anymore. Accept that this past is not a part of you anymore. Whatever you have done, this is the human experience. You are not determined by your past. The only time that you become determined by your past is when you bury it. Because when you bury it, it's still a part of you. And if it's a part of you, it determines you. If it's a part of you, it keeps on knocking. If it's a part of you, it comes up again and again and again and again. So, what is this ancient practice to help you change your identity, to help you upgrade your mind, to help you become, well, a version of yourself that you can't even recognize, I would say. Oops, 1 second. Technical issues. I'm not gonna really edit this out because I want those videos to be extremely raw and authentic. I'm speaking with you, I'm having a conversation with you. The ancient practice is very simple. And by the way, when I say ancient practice, I mean it. So this practice has been given down in secret societies for 3,000 something years. This practice, people in very advanced retreats do those. So it's well known in some places in the world too. What I want you to do is take a pen and take a journal. Okay? Some pen, journey. Sit down and write point zero. Write who you are today. Write your experience. By the way, small point, a new journal, not an old one because something is gonna happen in a second. You'll know exactly what I mean. Write who you are today, what you like, what you don't like, what you've done, what things you have done in your life, what things you're not so proud of, what experiences that have, well, kind of left a scar on your mind and on your body, maybe. I don't know. Write those down. Write those down. Sit down with yourself. It's hard. By the way, this is the hardest part. You're facing your demons. It's hard. Write those down. What did someone do to you? What did you do to someone? What did someone say? What did you say back to someone? Etc. Write those down. Then, what I want you to do is after you write it down, by the way, if you wrote it down and you didn't feel anything, that means you didn't really dive deep enough to face anything. Okay? So, you've written all of it down. You take the journal, you close it. Okay? And you leave it with you on the weekends, or even in the same day, or even if you have a chimney at home, you can do that at home. Go, put small fire. Cool. It doesn't have to be big. If you have a chimney, great. If you have, like for example, here I live in a pretty cool neighborhood where it has a lot of nature around it, so I could go and just a small bonfire. Do it. Take this journal, okay? Open it. Go through the journal one more time. Just accept what you have done. Accept this identity. Accept this version. And as you accept it, you close it and you say, I allow you, giving yourself the power of allowing yourself to change. So, anyway, you take it and say to yourself, I allow you to go. I allow you to leave. I allow you to leave me. And then you throw it in the fire and you look at it. You let it burn and you look at it as it's burning and you feel those things burning out of you. Maybe you do some breath work as it's happening and you feel it going out of you. You feel it going out of your body. You feel it going out of your mind. You feel those things that kept on creeping up again and again and again and again. Those bad habits, those bad ideas, those bad beliefs, those bad circumstances, this bad childhood, everything. You feel it and then let it go. And one thing that I can guarantee right now is once you do that, you're gonna feel something. You're gonna feel a sense of relief. You're gonna feel your shoulders just drop like you've never felt them before. And now you have so much empty space within your body and within your mind to create a new identity. Because we cannot create a new identity before creating space for it, before burning the old one. So in the next video in the series, episode number 2, this was episode number 1, which is pretty great. I'm very excited to do this. Episode number 2 is going to be about starting to shape and shift your new identity. I'll see you. Bye bye.